Hello, my name is Zhatelier, welcome back for another episode of Valhalla Vanguard in Aurora 4X, and in previous episode we started retooling our shipyards quite a bit, and we did a little bit of research and all that. But mostly we're right now just waiting for the shipyards to be retooled so we can start building ships. Now one thing that I was looking through again is how much Mercassium we have. We don't have that for all that long. I mean, we are running out of research labs to build soon, and since we don't have the Mercassium we can't really afford building more right now. But I mean, we'll have, what, 40? Yeah, 40 research facilities. That's going to be at least a decent starting point. Now, one thing that I could technically do, we do have some... Actually, we only have 400 Mercassium here, never mind. Because we're not mining any over there, so all the Mercassium over here is mined locally. That's a problem. Now, in Moonin, the comet that we are mining does have Mercassium. It has 40,000 and fairly good accessibility, so if we could get enough miners here, or fishermen here, we could actually get a decent bit of resources out of this. Also, a lot of uranium, boronite, corundium, all of things are stuff that we need. Well, the problem is that we'd have to use the Nostrand entrance, which is actually closer to this anyway. If we have a look at Moonin real quick. I believe there's still the, yeah, there's the wreck over there, but the Nostrand jump point is over here. It would be a bit closer than jump point over there, and I'm pretty sure that they don't have the spotting range on us over here. So we can still use that. Same goes for Gunnar. It's easier to go through there. I hope. I'm not actually sure about that. That reminds me, we got a ship in here. Do some survey location. Also, this was another huge system. If we zoom out all the way, it's like 3 belts of asteroids here. It's about, I think, about 5 light years across, which is huge. So I'm mostly focusing on getting the jump points here. But so far, how much do we have fuel left? Running a bit low. Do we... Oh, no, we do have that set up. Okay. Now, another thing that we could do is if we were to transfer some... Okay, is there... There's only moons and us. No, there might be a gas giant. There is a gas giant there. So one thing that I could do is I could set up a fueling station at the gas giant there, just so that I can lower the time to refuel and all that. It might be okay. Might be, I'm not entirely sure about that. Now then. So we're waiting on research and the shipyards, although the next research is going to be in March, I believe. No, that's March next year, not this year. No, it's going to be the missile... Well, that's also next year. What the hell. It's going to be April. It's going to be the beam fire control, so we got plenty of time to burn through here. I'm not sure why I'm looking at Gunnar here, but I'm going to let it run until something happens. I mean, this is another fairly large system. It's not as large as Moonin or Zhatelier, or whatever it's called. Aha, survey completed. Let's see, what is not possible? Explorer 5 as unable to do the orders. Then unrest stuff. Geosurvey completed. Deposit 42 million tons of thorium. Accessibility 0.1 has been found on Siophan B1. Accessibility increase of uridium from 0.1 to 0.7. And deposit of 60 million corundium. Accessibility 0.1 has been found on Siophan B1. Okay. Not terrible, not terrible. Let's have a look at the planet again. What resources do they actually have there? We can probably close that one for now. So, that was B1, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So, in total, the accessibilities are a flat 2. The amount of minerals there is huge, although half of that uranium and 0.1 accessibility. I mean, If we need boronite or uridium, this might be a decent place, but right now I don't think it's going to be worth mining here. Because there are better places around here, if I remember correctly. At least, well, this one has flat 1 accessibility on uridium, and boronite is 0.1. Boronite over here is 0.7, so yes, we do have better options for that. Now we can disband the team here. I wonder, did I go through the Gnar? I did. I don't want to send anything to Lodor right now. It's probably going to be a bit risky. Maybe we don't actually need to have open because there's not a place that we'll be going into. Now another place that... Let's see, we haven't done any surveys in Zhatelier, so let's have a look first. There are some planets that might have minerals and moons. Nothing all that huge though. But if we have a look at the system, so instead of uranium, we'll add colonies onto the moons here at least. We can survey. I mean, we're probably not going to find much, if anything, there. Actually, also the... Okay, there's another moon here with barely anything. Might as well put in a colony there, just so that we can go through them. Now, I know that there's the... Okay, this one has a lot of resources. I'll create a colony there. And the other one was a gas giant, I believe. We'll do those. And then... Zhatelier, there you are. We'll do the survey of this place first, because this has a lot of minerals. If we could increase the accessibility a fair bit, that would be a great thing. Although, it's probably not going to do all that much. We need a kind of miracle in the survey to be able to get everything that we need out of this. Right, and then let's jump back to Zhatelier, so that we can keep on track on the Explorer. Right, so the Explorer 5 cannot actually do anything right now, other than... Well, actually... we could... perhaps go and refuel. First of all, I do believe we got refueling capabilities over here. We do have the whaler, so we'll refuel from target fleet. It probably doesn't have all that much fuel, but I'd say that probably 500,000 liters is certainly available. Then we'll go through Alta and Nostra. We'll go to overhaul this, and we can then retool this eventually to the Explorer 4s, which should be available soon. So we need to go to Ymir. Valhalla will... Just in case, we'll resupply and then begin overhaul. Speaking of resupply, how much are we... Still got 9,000 maintenance supplies, that's not terrible. We've got plenty of mass drivers here. This is certainly a thing that we should start considering utilizing. Right, so Mimir has up to 500,000 population can be supported. Also, was it also a place where... Oh, the oxygen levels are kind of a problem, and the temperature is kind of a problem. But we can certainly fix that. If we could get... one terraforming installation in 9 years, this would be livable oxygen levels, but we'd also need to increase the temperature, so save greenhouse gases or something like that, to increase the temperature. But even with the oxygen levels, that would make this certainly a more colonizable planet. If we can make this into a fully colonizable planet and then start getting some research labs built or brought in here, probably built, it's going to be easier in certain ways at least, but of course that does require industry, but the industry is also a good thing to have. Right, so we'll make this into missile research planet, that's for sure. we did set up the team. Let's keep on going again. Shipyard has been modified. Drag that to the side there so it's not in the way. So that was the longboat. The shipyard survey. So we should be able to refit 2 longboats from... Let's see, so we got 4 different... No, we don't have any of those. We do have the longbow 3-1 over here, so we'll retool this one real quick. Do we have more? No, we only have that one, so we'll add 52% of the cost of a new ship. Yes, certainly we'll do that. Then I suppose we got the longbow 2s here, which we got plenty. I will retool that one as well. That's going to be a bit more expensive, and almost the cost of the new ship. At the same time, it's still a bit less, so it should be quicker that way. Right, we don't need to worry about this survey shipyard right now. How long until we get the... it's going to take a while before we get the complex. I might actually increase this to 156. Just to keep sure that we are increasing our production capabilities. Slowly but surely. Got a little bit of tracking station strength over here. We got 3 military academies. Level 2 spaceport. We got a decent bit of things here, but minerals is starting to become an issue. I mean, the total stockpile is still 800,000, which is not terrible. Alright, so once we research that, I think I'm going to send Zhatelier to refuel, then jump through the jump point there. See what we can uncover. Okay, shipyard modifier for the whalers. So now we can start building the new whalers without any issues. We can build quite a few of them. Not to mention the price is lower. Right, so add task. 4 times. So how long is it gonna take? The first one is gonna be completed sooner because we got some of the fuel harvesters already all built, but the rest of them is gonna be February next year, so it's almost a year to build them. Well, practically a year actually. Also gonna get another fisherman. We might take that into Munin the other way around. Maybe, although the target is currently a bit occupied, so it may take a few moments. Well, we'll see. Well, there's more freighters moving around. Oh, and system surveyed. So, Zhatelier, I believe. How much? You're a bit low on fuel. You've been out not actually all that long. How much do you need? You need a fair bit. Let me quickly check the whaler fleet. How much do they have? They got 3 million, so plenty. Right, refuel from the target fleet. Then go through that. As you go through, we'll give you the new orders. Shouldn't take too long. Oh right, the freighter has dropped in probably some colonists and more infrastructure. That's good. Explorers are racing towards the whaler fleet over there. Now, to be fair, there are some unrest issues here, but nothing that we can't deal with. Well, not here, but in Alta, or Njord to be precise. Okay, the fisherman has been retooled. Or the fisherman shipyard has been retooled, so we can start building more of those. And these are also, I think, a little bit cheaper than the old ones. Or at least I certainly hope so. So our tasks. We were already building one. Yeah, and that's going to be done in September, so it is very good to build the parts all in with your industry if you can, if you need to get the ships out quickly. Right, so when do we get? We're going to get the oiler in April, that's good, because we do need another oiler. And it's going to be useful, especially since some of the whaler fleets are starting to pile up a decent bit of fuel now. I mean, the Mir fleet has 8 million liters, Skjoffen has 3 million, and Strand has almost 3 million. So if we bring in a few more whalers here, we would increase this to, I don't know, 10 million liters, that would be probably enough for at least some of the civilian traffic going through there. Right. Right now, just mostly waiting for some research and the retoolings to complete. I mean, the retoolings are going quite nicely. Oh well, the Explorer 3 is having a fuel issue. Oh, already moving back. I'm not sure if they actually managed to explore all that much here. Well, but they do have quite a bit of a range, and the fact that we have well, oh, we did actually do some surveying here of the planets and such, but was that the only planet that they have here? Yes, we have surveyed everything here in terms of minerals. Yeah, not huge accessibilities. There's 1.3 on that one and 1.3 on this one. There's a little bit of minerals, but it would be rather slow getting them from here. So exploring the jump points will be useful, but that will have to wait for a while. Now, of course, it does have the low fuel. It should have enough fuel to actually reach back to at least Nostrand or something like that, but we are stuck with the 5-day increments. Now, TAG has released a tractor in Valhalla. That means that we'll be mining even more minerals. Let's see, so we got production of the fuel refinery done in Njord. We started on the terraforming installation. We completed the beam fire control range research. And we started research into the thermal sensor sensitivity. That's very good. Then there's some... oh, an officer died. And the low fuel, okay. So now that we've got the beam fire control, we do have the speed already, don't we? Yes, we do have the... that one. So if we go for fighter only... let me actually look real quick. How big of a... I'll put that to the side actually, I'm not going to close it. If we open the unsung... or actually we don't need to open the unsung necessarily, but... just something that... I'll open the unsung anyway, but to see how big of a beam fire control was it actually. It is the half the size, okay. And it does have the range of 24,000 kilometers and the lowest tracking speed than the one that we would be researching here. Right, I suppose we could go with this one. It would increase the tracking speed and the range a little bit, so the accuracy would be higher. I mean, because the Messens have a max range of 30,000 kilometers with my technology, which means that we would have at least a bit higher than 50% accuracy, even at the max range. Not a terrible thing. So we could certainly do this one. Do we need to rename this a little bit? Sounds reasonable. So we'll do that one. Then we've got the point defense beam fire control, which we can now improve as well. I will probably keep the range the same on this one, for the beam fire control at least. But we will of course increase the speed to 4 times So, and of course not fighter. If it was fighter, oh god, that would be quite a tracking speed. But no, it's not fighter beam fire control. Did have the point fence in front here. Right, so it does have the higher tracking speed and all that. It's the same hull size on everything else, I believe. Even the crew size is the same. Of course, the cost is a fair bit higher, but that is to be expected. So we'll create that. Then another thing that we should probably start figuring out is the beam fire control for our preacher ship, or preaching ship, and probably the max range and the max speed. Although the speed doesn't necessarily need to be max. How quick will the ship itself be? If we have a look at that first. So with the current engines and the intended size, it's going to be about the same as everything else. Now to be fair, if I add in one more engine, it would be well over 2000 engine power. Hold on, it would be 2048. Divided by hull size, it would be about 6,800 kilometers per second. It would be a reasonable speed. It's not huge, but the point of the ship is to be in close proximity anyway, to start with, and then doesn't need to be chasing long distances necessarily. But yeah, I think adding an extra engine would necessarily not be a bad idea. So we'll add one more of these. Of course, it doesn't mean that we'll have a bit less room for weaponry and such, but at the same time, the speed is your highest defense, basically. The higher speed you are, the less likely the enemy is to hit you. And secondly, you can get next to the enemy a bit better. Another thing that we could do, we could technically add in one more, but I think with the 4 engines that's gonna be enough. That's gonna be fairly quick speed still. And now we can, for the fire control's tracking speed, we can actually lower that to about 8,000. So it means that we'll have a bit smaller fire controls than what we might have. And the tracking speed is actually name this to Preach Beam Fire Control. It has a decent range. It has a mediocre tracking speed. It's not great, but against the NPR at least, it will be enough. And even against the precursors, it will probably be enough. But we'll create that one. Now, of course, we'll need to research all of those. So if we have a look at the research queue for the sensor guy, I mean, it's going to be doing the thermal sensor sensitivity first, and then the EM sensor sensitivity, both of which are important. But we will queue up at least these. Actually, I'll queue up that one. I'll even increase the priority of the fighter fire control a little bit, just so that we can actually start building functional unsungs. So we'll have that, then we will queue up these. Hold on, that's the beam fire control, and then this breach beam fire control, and that's about it really. Now we are running a bit low in terms of the queued up research. The missile researcher does have the mines after the reload rate. Once we get the reload rate, we might as well redo the launchers. And the shields are going to be done in due time, but after that we'll probably I don't know, we could probably get the... shield regenerate if we really want to, or... There's a lot of things over here that would be useful. A lot of them are useful in one way or another. It's just everything takes time. That's the problem. Or I could just go with the regenerate 2 and gamma shields and add in maybe 2 or 3 of those per cruiser, which is probably not going to be enough in any shape or form. But we'll see. We'll put in a few of them at least per cruiser, just so that they can basically have a regen armor. A little bit, of course, in cost of fuel, but that's not the biggest problem. But yeah, I don't actually think we need to queue up anything right now. I'll probably go through between the episodes and put in some extra research there, because we are unfortunately out of time for this one. So, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.